Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon. So for today's video, we will study about the unsaturation test, which is Bayes test and bromine in dichloromethane test. So what is unsaturation test? Unsaturation test is a confirmatory test to determine which compound that contain carbon-carbon double bond. So the compound that contain carbon-carbon double bond will give you the positive observation in those tests. Okay, we look at the Bayer test. So the compound that contain carbon-carbon double bond will decolorize the purple color of potassium permanganate and produce brown precipitate. And then in the bromine in dichloromethane test, the compound that contain carbon-carbon double bond will decolorize the reddish brown color of bromine. So we look at this example. Let's say I want to differentiate between cyclohexane and cyclohexene. In cyclohexane, which compound that contain the carbon-carbon double bond? So to answer this question, we will use this table. So this table consists of the name of the test. So let's say I will use Bayes test, and then reagent and condition, diluted alkaline solution of potassium permanganate, and the condition is cold. And then the compound that I want to study, which is cyclohexane and cyclohexene, and the structural formula of cyclohexane is here and the cyclohexene is here. So when we look at the structural formula, we will see that cyclohexene contains carbon-carbon double bond, while cyclohexane does not contain carbon-carbon double bond. So means that cyclohexane will give you the positive observation, while cyclohexane will give you the negative observation. So for the observation for cyclohexane is the purple color of potassium permanganate is remain unchanged. The purple color does not turn into colorless. And then in the cyclohexane will decolorize the purple color of potassium permanganate and produce brown precipitate. And then we will write the equation for both compound. The first one is cyclohexane react with KMnO4 OH minus cold. There will be no observable changes because our purple color does not change. But in cyclohexane react with KMnO4 OH minus condition cold, so this reaction will produce diols. OH will be two OH group will be added to the carbon double bond and produce brown precipitate of MnO2. So we will use the arrow here to indicate that this MnO2 is the precipitate. Okay, menunjukkan mendakan terbentuk, mendakan berwarna perang kan. Okay. How about when we use bromine in dichloromethane test? So the observation would be different. So in this reaction, in this test, the reagent is the bromine in dichloromethane, and then the condition is in the dark. Okay, the condition is in the dark. So the compound that will be used here is cyclohexane and cyclohexene. So we see from the structural formula, cyclohexane doesn't has any carbon-carbon double bond, while cyclohexene has carbon-carbon double bond. Means that cyclohexane will give you the positive observation. So for the observation, for cyclohexane is reddish brown color of bromine is remain unchanged, while for cyclohexene reddish brown color of bromine will be decolorized. And then when we look at the equation, okay, in this equation, for cyclohexane react with bromine means CH2Cl2 in the dark, there will be no observable changes. While for cyclohexene react with bromine in the dichloromethane in the dark, produce vicinal dan hadas. So that's all for today. I hope the example that I teach here will help you to answer all of my questions. That's all for today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.